We have to.
Actually, now that I think about it,
It's inevitable. Is it
right the fuck
not? So, I'm doing one of these merely as an aid. And what does that mean? What are we aiding? We are going to talk about the Serpentine Order. I've never embodied in regular form. Like, I don't really need to focus on that. Clean it up. The rainfall, you know, like the rain show. So it really. Grandpa. Hey guys, let's talk about something. Let's have a conversation. I've been hearing a lot of rumors, and I want to kind of quell them. So I figure, why don't let's just talk about sex for a while and just kind of see. All right, what I really want to talk about, or about, really depends on what country you come up in. I need my glasses because I can't see. The Serpentine Order. What is the Serpentine Order? Or Serpentine, whatever. I don't know. Don't ask me how to pronounce it. Well, first and foremost, like, what's the main thing about them? They're a Naku. What else do we know about the Serpentine Order? Well, they do not like mankind. So, mankind hate. They hate mankind. Why do they hate mankind? We'll get into it a little bit more. What's the third important thing we know about the Serpentine Order? What is something that everyone knows? Nothing, you're saying, because you don't know what I'm talking about? You might be right. If you read the book, what's the third thing you'd know about them? This is what I'm going to say is the third thing. Igun Fachu. And his manifesto. That is what we'll talk about right now. So, number one, the Serpentine Order are all a Naku. Well, this is true. That is a true fact. What they are is an order. What would you call that? What is that word that every single time I always forget? They are a group of radicals and extremists. It's a fucking word I always forget. They are, I don't know if that second E is there for extremists. They are a group of extremists. What do they extremely do? Well, what's number two? Mankind hate. What can one imagine a group does that hates mankind? Well, let's look at real life equivalents. What would be real life equivalents? How about a more volatile Black Panther Party? That's close, but imagine if they actually did like fucked up things. What's another close equivalent? The KKK. You're right. These both, I mean, they're the same thing, just in different clothes. That right there are like what really started. No, they aren't. Why do I lie? That's what I'm imagining right now is the closest like real life equivalent that I can come off the top of my fucking head, because forgive me, but I'm not into fucking cults and weird shit like that. So that's kind of what they resemble in real life. What else? I don't know how to spell this, so I'm not gonna try. I'll just put Al-Qaeda. I know there's like a QU, but I don't fucking remember. Here's another equivalent, or ISIS. Oh, geez. I don't know what else is out there, man. Fill in, like, you know, like the part where they like do the comment thing. Like, put in the comment section what you think about, you know. These are the kind of things that to think about when you're thinking of the Serpentine Order. These are the kind of ideas that we can kind of get in our head. Now, that's not to say that any one of these is worse than the other. That's not to say that none of these people here have any right for what they're doing. That's not saying that at all. This is merely saying these people are considered extremists against, like, they're kind of counterculture in a sense. Oh, here's a big one. I forgot. I don't know why I skipped. Neo-Nazis. I think that, I don't know. Are they in the KKK? Are they the same thing? I don't know. Honestly, whatever. I don't pay attention to this kind of shit. So forgive me if they are connected in some way. These are people. Now, every single one of these groups has a reason to do what they're doing. People are scared to look at life like that. I don't know what it is about people, but whenever it's like something's against their mind, it's like, no, over here, and evil, bad, no thoughts. It's like, no, it's okay to explore where people come from and how they got to these mindsets. That's exactly what the Serpentine Order represents. The Serpentine Order, let's say, because I'm going to take a wild guess and say that you're a human being watching this. Hey, guess what? Me too. So, we're in the book. We're mankind. The Serpentine would hate us. Now, this outright hatred isn't like, yeah, the Serpentine, like there's like a gang and they're in a Vol, or they're in Tantorum, like they're in like Galgreath, or what, I don't even remember the name of the biggest city in Tantorum, or they're in the Ronic capital. Like, no, they're not marauding around and doing fucked up shit. The way that the Serpentine kind of act, in my mind, a lot of it is like Al-Qaeda. Merely in the fact that it's like they exist, there are large groups of them, but good luck trying to trace them down to their like core. Their structure works a lot like Al-Qaeda, where it's like if you capture one of them, it's like, goody, he doesn't even know who his superiors are. It's like that on purpose. I can't give you examples of any of these other ones, like the Black Panthers, the KKK, the neo-Nazis, and ISIS, because I don't know shit about any of them. I only know the basics. Like their racism, these two, Black Panthers and KKK, are really racist. ISIS doesn't like things that aren't Muslim. That's just taking a stab in the dark. I don't know, though. And neo-Nazis are just like, also racist? Right? I don't know. Maybe they just like socialism again. Who knows these things? But anyway, so I don't see them as like mirroring them in any way. I mostly just see them mirroring like Al-Qaeda. Let's be honest here. Now the extremism, what is extreme about them? So we already established they don't like us. They don't like mankind. So how is that extreme? What are they doing with that? Well, that begins with a man named Agun Fachu. Agun Fachu was a Hanaku. And he lived in the society of Adrana. He lived in a Vol. He was part of the nobility. Because you see, a Vol, much different than Tantorum, and much different than the South, for the longest time, mankind and Anaku lived side by side. It was supposed to be like Israel. That's what, this promised land, this place. And they went here, and Jew can exist besides Muslim. I know, hold your laughter, because like, why would that be real? But that's kind of the mentality that Adrana was supposed to be, this nation that turned into. It began with a Vol, this city-state. This city-state once spreads out, becomes a nation. But anyway, Agun Fachu was just part of nobility. And he was part of the Ayivan society. So the Ayivan society are the group of people that are the monarchs. Think of it like you have England, and every king agrees, like, yeah, we'll all be part of this society, and we each have our own land, and we report to the High King, and like, it's just an agreement that we are followers of those who descend from the founder, Odysseus. Odysseus' lineage will always be in charge. It will always rule over this nation. The Aevans are the ones that followed him through the Murphos, followed him through, like, Moses when he went into the Exodus and he had all the Jews walking with them and shit. Now imagine like all those Jews became these like high people that helped run society, these great families. It's just kind of like that. It's a play on that idea. Agun Fachu was one of these people. His family was a great family, but to kind of not give things away, something happened. Something happened to this guy, and he had a revelation. And this revelation was his manifesto. Somehow and in some way, we're talking about a man from upper society. We're talking about someone that has an understanding deeper than the average person of what's really going on in the world. Surprise, I brought you here. He's got a deeper understanding than most people would about the world. Merely because he's part of the high society. Well, the high society, let's not zoom in so much. He's part of high society merely because what they understand, high society, is something that can't really be placed in the hands, let's say, of your average people. They have a purpose, and that purpose is power. Like, they are the battery, the people are. And there's like a structure to it. We don't need to get into all that shit. But just suffice to say that this Anaku was shown a few things that changed his perspective of everything. Adrana, Aval, was supposed to be this place of hope for Anaku. But in his mind, he said, no. This was Anaku Promised Land, and it looks like it's slowly being taken over by mankind. That would lead to his anger. And then when he started to really look into what really happened with Tanias, Odysseus' brother, and he started to look at what the power of the Anaku was, and he started to look at the curse, the great curse of his people. Well, that great curse was laid at the feet of mankind. Meanwhile, like, mankind's over here debating on what magic truly is. He's over here stewing in all of this. And it was eventually that he was expelled from this society for one reason or another, which we won't really get into because I need something to write about. He went off, and it was said that he was approached by a, let's just say, an otherworldly being. And it was this otherworldly being that gave him his purpose. And in time, when he wrote his manifesto about how mankind should be destroyed and mankind should be erased from the world. It was very volatile. But it wasn't taken too seriously. And he left in seclusion and he disappeared. But slowly did he establish this order. And it took some time. And it actually took time after his death when he faded into, like as the Anaku, they fade away. They're supposed to be immortal, but they're slowly fading. Well, he's gone. And somehow, this fading was now in the hands, this organization, this order, was placed in the hand of a female Anaku, and all she's ever been known as the Voice. That's all that'll ever be known about her. And she has this order now. What is understood about this order, because it's outside of what man understands about them, they themselves have found ways to prevent their fading. So the issue is, the Anaku fade after so again, they're supposed to be immortal beings. They're supposed to be like elves, but they're slowly fading from the world. The reasoning behind that is their place in which they drew power, mankind in one way or another has hijacked that because of the cursing of the forest. Tanias and Odysseus, their story, something happened there that now mankind. So imagine elves have this power imbued inside of them, this magical ability that grants them immortality and understanding of things that are within the realm that we would call magic. Well, somehow man hijacked that from them. And because of that, they are fading away. And mankind is growing more powerful because of it. There's internal struggles going on with that, but we won't need to go into that. That's like Adenian struggles, what magic really is. The validity of magic, they call it. While that's happening, these Serpentine members are people of the highest society of all Anaku. Now, when one thinks of Anaku, a lot of tribes still dwell in their small forests, and they're like how you would imagine a Celt or a Native American or any kind of like tribal person. That's a lot of Anaku are like that. And sometimes shamans or sometimes great healers or great leaders get absolved into the Serpentine Order. But there are societies of high Anaku, as we would call them, that still dwell in Adrana. There's some in the Great Forest of the North in Albadan, and then there's some on Valma in the Shattered Isles to the north. But there's a giant empire of Anaku called the Etrovians, and they are the highest order of Anaku. And so these kind of people are all, they grab some of these folks and they let them join this party, and it's like, imagine the Illuminati of high society. It's like, oh, these countries are doing this and that, but you have this Illuminati group. Like, what are they up to? That's the Serpentine Order, if you want to think of them like that. They're like this Illuminati group to the other Anaku. And to solve this cure, mankind, since they hijacked what was called the Dume, or the power of the voice and stuff, and when they fade away, their essence, their soul essence, gets absorbed into mankind's, let's just call it like a stream of creation. Let's draw like a crude picture to show you what I mean. Crude picture, okay. Well, how shall I do this? You might be wondering. Glasses. So, Anaku. This is the beings of the Anaku, and then they inhabit inside the world. Well, they drew their power from this great source. Whatever this is, this could be afterlife, this could be a collective soul, this could be God. But there is some sort of source that kept them alive. And when their strings were cut, and it was indeed mankind who has power over this place, this is where one draws magic. This is where one draws higher consciousness. This is the place, mankind, this is the place in which everything that is and can be. It's like tapping into unity consciousness and being able to harness it. What mankind used to call this, what it was used to be termed as, was God's toolbox. Because whatever exists inside this area that they can enter, like they can use, are all the tools of creation. Weirdly, the Anaku didn't have power over it. For some reason, man can truly draw from it. The Anaku, they couldn't draw from it like, and I will use this to destroy you. It's not like that. They drew from it to give them life. This object, this thing, this ethereal whatever it is, it's either a realm or it's an object, only gave them the power of life. And the natural imbued magic that is shamanistic in a sense. It's only mankind that seems to be able to draw from this in different ways. But what's happening is, now that the Anaku are cut off, they're slowly vaporizing. They're slowly turning to nothingness. But what's weird is, there's some sort of magnetic pull on the collectiveness of mankind, that the souls of the Anaku are being absorbed into this. They're being reborn as a men. They're dying as elves to be reborn as men. That's the problem. This is what the Serpentine Order want to stop. Because of that fact, they're slowly being drained. If they can find a way to get these souls back, they can stay alive longer, to figure out how to finally destroy mankind without full-scale war. Because the Anaku as a collective people throughout the entirety of the realms do not have enough power to stop mankind. Not even a small nation like the Shattered Isles could they stop, let alone Tantorum or the South. There's no way. They're fading, and instead of being fatalistic about it, they're trying to take action. So, what does that mean? how indeed can they do that? How can they get their souls back that are going to be stolen by mankind? How indeed can they do that, you might be asking? Well, if the power is is entering mankind, and these souls of the Anaku are giving mankind this power. So magical mages of mankind aren't just mages that can tap into the ether. They're using the spirits of the Anaku to access this. So the spirits were supposed to be going back into those strings the Anaku was connected to. Those strings are now charging man. So, I mean, I could go into more detail of how the spirits are created in God's toolbox, and it's an unending fucking cycle, and that's why mankind cannot die. They're living life over and over and over again because they cannot. It's like it's a blessing and a curse. They're semi-immortal. If you're a normal human, you live to be about 80 years old, you're coming back. It's gonna happen. So you're semi-immortal, like you're always gonna be here. You get fucking stabbed, you're just like, oh, I'm back again. And there's like this fucked up toil. Now, that's a whole after effect of this process. So the Anaku, Serpentine Orders, the extremists, need to get those souls back. And what does that mean? That's what they had to find out. Can a human being be captured? Can a human being be captured and then cut in open? And can it be extracted from them? Oh no, that doesn't work. Well, what is the soul? And eventually, we'll say in a way that you would understand it, the soul of the human was soul trapped. Like in Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, video game, or, Oblivion, Skyrim, or Morrowind, or whatever, or other fantasy souls. If they found a way to capture the human soul and put it upon themselves, that keeps them alive. It doesn't last forever. And sometimes it's someone that you might have known. You can find a familiarity of that soul within yourself. This guiding spirit. So these souls that keep these Serpentine members alive, and only certain members of High Anaku society in Atrovia, become these guiding spirits that kind of help them. Keeps them alive, but it also guides them because it was inside of mankind. And so that is what the Serpentine are up to. They're extracting the souls of men in order to prolong their lives. But it's not as simple as that. It can get very dark, it can get very twisted, there can be fucked up experiments, and in fact ways to capture these mages, these human mages, and twisting their forms to serving the Serpentine. If I can twist this being, then that great power that it has in it will serve us. And so there's indoctrinations, there's schools that these captured mages, the Aevans, if you remember my Adrana Society video, well, the Aevans are like the mage lords of Adrana. They get captured in time, sometimes, whenever they can, which is what Quartus does. They have guys that literally capture men and are trained to do it, to capture mages and take them back, and they can serve their Naku. Now, they do this from many facilities. They're not so stupid to say, like, oh, we only have one facility where this is all going on. Because if that gets destroyed or captured, they're fucked. So there's many spread out. The most famous ones are Symphony Citadel and what Tauric men call Hill 464. These are these are the most famous, like, places where this shit can happen. Now, I can go into way more detail about it, but this is for a couple people, Kevin and his lady. They're doing stories that's going to involve the Serpentine. I wanted to let them know this is just some of it. This is just enough to kind of get you started to know who they are. I can provide way more information if needed, like, the nitty-gritty kind of shit. names, places, events that happened and shit. But general overview of the Serpentine Order. That's that.